Assalamu alaikum. So the lesson today is about equations. So first we are going to learn about equal sign and the property of equal sign. But before we start talking about the property of equal signs, let's first define what is equal sign. So we're gonna put the definition first of equal sign. So definition. So what is equal sign? So equal sign is a symbol used to compare two identical value expression. So that's all. So equal sign is a symbol used to compare two identical value expression. So denoted by the notation of equal sign is two parallel bar. So how we read those parallel bar equal to. So as you see, the definition is totally clear. If I have two identical value expression, so I can make them equal each other. So they don't have to be similar, but they must be identical in terms of value. Alright, so let me give you an example. So for example, 4 plus x is equal to 5 times 2. As you see, they're not similar, but their value are the same. So again here, 16 minus 8, for example, 14 divided by 2 is equal to 3 plus 7, 3 plus 4, sorry. So those are example of are equal. So now we are going to talk about the property of equal sign. Before, if the expression are not equal, so we use equal sign close with the this is I'll put it in remark. So if the quantity are not equal, so we use that symbol. So for distinct quantities or distinct value, so we use the following symbol. So this, you see it, equal, and we have a slash bar on it. So this is read not equal to. Let me give an example, then we move to the property. So for example, 4 plus 5 is not equal to 7 plus 3. 2 times 4 is not equal to 5 plus 6. 4 plus 1 is not equal to 3. So those are example of not equal sign. Now we are going to move to the property of equal sign. So properties of equal sign. So let's A, B, and C be expressions. You can use number or anything, but I prefer to use expression because I want to make it more wider. Alright, let's talk about the first property, which is reflexive property. Reflexive property of equal sign. So what's the reflexive property state? So for any expression A, always we have A is equal to itself. The expression is equal to itself. So this is an example. So we have, for example, 3 is equal to 3. 4 times 2 is equal to 4 times 2. X plus 9 equal x plus 9, and so on. So this is about reflexive property. Any quantity is equal to itself. And I think this is clear. The second property is symmetric property. So what's the property state? So for any expressions A and B, so if A is equal B, then I can say that B is equal A. So if I switch the order, so still they have to be they are equal. So I want you to see it in this way. It's this way I think is more clear if you can see it this way. Suppose I have balance, because equal mean the balance. So suppose I have a balance, which means the quantity here is equal to quantity here. They are equal. You see we have a balance. So if I have A is balance would be, that means they are equal. So what happened here, if I switch the order, you see we still have the balance. That's the idea. If I switch the order of the quantity, or if I commute the quantity, so we still have the balance. That means they're still equal. So that's the idea. So let me give you an example. For example, 4 times 2 is 8. If 4 times 2 is 8, then we can say that 8 is 4 times 2. If we have, for example, x plus 9 equal 3, then I can say 3 is equal to x plus 9. If 7 equal a minus 4, then a minus 4 equals 7. It's like you reflect, it's like a mirror. It's the same thing, there's no difference. The next property is called transitive property. And this, a lot of students, they don't use it at all, because we don't have to tell you you have to use it, but you should know it. At least you can use it. I'm going to show you where they misuse this property. So if for any expression A, B, and C, so if A is equal B and B equal C, then A will be equal to C. So for example, if this will give you an example to show you the idea. Example. So if 3x minus 5 equal 14 over 2 and 14 over 2 equals 7, then 3x minus 5 is equal 7. And this is where most of the students don't use. So they have a fraction that can be simplified, but they don't simplify it and they keep it as a fraction till they got the solution with the fraction. So if you see that this expression is equal to another number, make it equal to a number. Use the transitive property. So use that property. It will help you solve your problem easily. So this is about the property of equal sign. Now we're going to talk about the operation property of equal sign. So the operation property of equal sign. So the first property is additive property, but let's pick some expression. So let A, B, and N be expression. So the first property is the additive property. So if A is equal to B, then if I add the same number both sides, the equality stay the same. So that means they're not going to be different, or they're not going to be not equal. So it will be A plus N is equal to B plus N. So if I add the same number, you see it's still equal sign. So for example, if I have 7 is equal to 4 plus 3. So if I add, for example, 4 both sides, you see here it's gonna be 11, and here's gonna be 4 plus 3 plus 4. If we add those, it's gonna be 11. So it's the same thing. If I have, for example, x minus 2 equals 7. If you see they are equal, if I add 2 both sides, they're still equal. So this is 7 plus 2, and this is x minus 2 plus 2. They're still equal. So that's the idea behind this additive property. When we add the same quantity on both sides, it's still the same. And if you want to see it in terms of balance, is the same thing. So if I have a balance here, so this is they are balanced, that means they are equal. So if I have A equal, for example, A, if I add the same quantity here, B, you see it's still balanced because it's not gonna be different. They're gonna be still balanced because I'm adding the same quantity in both sides. The second property is the subtractive property. So here, if A equal B, then if I subtract the same number both sides, still equal. So for example, so if I have 12 equal 8 plus 4, if I minus 4 both sides, you see I subtract the same number. So 12 minus 4 is 8, and we have 4 minus 4 is 0. What's left is 8. You see, they're still equal. The same thing if I, for example, x plus 3 equal 9. If I subtract the same number both sides, you see, so 3 minus 3 is gone, so we have x, and here will be 6. That means we still have equal sign. The next property is the multiplication property. So if A is equal B, then n times A is the same thing as n times B. If I multiply by the same number both sides, is the same thing. So for example, if I have 4 equal 2 times 2, if I multiply both sides by 2, I will get 8. And here we have 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. You see, still equal. Or if I have, for example, x over 3 equal 4. So if I time both sides by 3, so here what happened? You have 3, here it will be 3x over 3 equal 12. But 3 over 3 or 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So it's the same thing if I have 3 times x equal 12. So 3 over 3 is 1. So it's going to be just x equal 12. So my point is, you see, we always have equal. The sign of the symbol of equal sign didn't change. It's still equal. So the last property is division property. So if A equal B and the number that we use is not 0, then if I divide by that number both sides, it is still equal. So let me give you an example. So if I have 12 is equal 4 times 3. So if I divide both sides by the same number, so here 12 divided by 2 is 6, And here if I divide 4 by 2, it's going to be 2 times 3. And 2 times 3 is equal 6. As you see, if I divide by the same number both sides, still equal. The same thing if I, for example, 4x equal 20. If I divide both sides by the same number, you see the 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So this means 1x is just x. And here is going to be 5. And you see we still have equal because we divide by the both sides by the same number. So this is the idea behind equal sign, and those are the property you should know about equal sign, because you can use those property not in your level now. Even if you go into college, you're going to still using those properties. So please know them very well. It will help you a lot. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any comment that will help me improve my way of teaching, so please do so. It's going to help me a lot. Thank you very much for watching the video again, and Assalamu alaikum.